Guys, we really need to have this conversation because this is really getting out of control. Hey, what is up, you guys? Thank you for tuning in to a brand new video. If this is the first time that you're watching one of my videos, I'm Rafa and I am a huge movie fan. So if you're a fan just like me, please consider subscribing to the channel so that way we can all be fans together. So anyway, guys, let's get started. So we all know Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg in the Justice League movie. Okay, so Ray Fisher had just come out with this article with the Hollywood Reporter, and in this article Ray Fisher is spilling all the tea. I knew for a while that Ray Fisher was not a big fan of his experience working on the Justice League movie, and for a long time Ray Fisher went on saying that he really disliked working on the movie and that it was the worst experience ever and he just wanted to move on from that experience. And for me, as someone who went to the same acting school as him, I really didn't appreciate him saying that, because to a lot of industry people, what he was doing was ruining his reputation. And that had me going like, come on dude, like don't be the actor that nobody wants to work with and burn our school's reputation. But to me, as someone who was not at all really in the know of what he was really complaining about working on Justice League, I really didn't understand what were some of the things that were done to him that happened on set that made him react this way towards Warner Brothers. But thanks to this article, I finally have a lot more of an understanding of what was going on, and I'm going to be sharing all of these things with you because these are things that need to be addressed and they are really messed up. So a couple of years ago, Ray Fisher tweeted that Joss Whedon's treatment on set of the cast and crew of Justice League was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. So we all know that Zack Snyder was the original director of the Justice League but had to back out for some personal reasons. And that's when DC hired Joss Whedon. And the movie that Ray Fisher had signed up for originally was far different from the movie that ended up being. It is being reported that Ray Fisher had numerous talks with the screenwriter Chris Terrio to discuss the Cyborg character, and it is revealed here that they always intended to make Cyborg the heart and soul of the movie. Terrio even says that he has the more pronounced character arc of any of the heroes. But unfortunately, that is not what Ray Fisher or the character of Cyborg ended up getting with the original release of Justice League. When filming began with Joss Whedon at the helm, Fisher says that he came to feel that he had to explain some of the most basic points of what would be offensive to the black community, and that is not okay. Then Fisher's reps were informed that Joss would be making a major revision to the script, and he flew all the way from New Jersey to LA to meet with Joss. And when they met at a bar, Fisher says that Whedon was tiptoeing around the fact that everything was changing, and boy did it change. He was given the new script, and gone was Cyborg's backstory, his relationship with his mother, and the tragic accident that led him to become Cyborg. Then there was also a call that both of them had to discuss any sort of comments or questions, and when Ray started to talk, he was quickly cut off by Joss, and he said, "I feel like I'm taking notes right now, and I don't like taking notes from anybody, not even Robert Downey Jr." And sources are saying that he had the same attitude with Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa. Fisher also says that once Joss Whedon got involved, the producer of the movie told Ray Fisher that it was problematic that Cyborg only smiled twice in the movie because they didn't want to have an angry black man in the center of the film. There's also a situation with Ray in a line he didn't want to say in the film, and that is "Booyah." He didn't want to say that line because he didn't think that it was fair that he was the only character in the film to have a catchphrase. There's also another star from the Justice League movie that ended up having differences with Joss Whedon, and that is Gal Gadot. Yes, Gal ended up taking her complaints to the head of the film studio and the chairman of Warner Brothers. She mainly had issues with the revised script and thought that in this version her character was more aggressive than in Wonder Woman, and she wanted to make the character flow from one movie to the other. Then a crew member heard Joss Whedon say that he's had it with Gal not recording the lines that he wants her to record, and that he's going to make her shut up, record the lines, or that he would make her look incredibly stupid in the movie. Ouch. Another thing to point out, in the efforts to restore their relationship with Warner Brothers, Ray Fisher was supposed to be in the new Flashpoint movie as a supporting role, but then came the notice that his role would be only shooting for 2 weeks and making that a cameo appearance. So that meant that he was only going to get a fraction of what he should have been paid for reappearing as Cyborg, so he declined and they are moving on without him. That's if the movie gets made anyway, because that movie is having a lot of problems. So anyway guys, this is just to show you the bad behavior and bad environment going on behind the scenes in DC, and it is not a surprise to me to see how their movies turn out if these are the kinds of people running these films. And I only hope that DC and everyone learns from this to not repeat it again, so that they can just move on, and instead of focusing on the drama, start focusing on the art of telling great stories. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And thank you so much guys for all the support that you've given me. Anyway guys, that is it from me. I'm Rafa over here from Hollywood, California, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.